Hey guys, it's Brohinky Yellow 2002 here, with the first Fanfiction Friday of YouTube. Maybe. Whatever. So today I am reading The Fortune Cookie Told Me To by Robot Ian Corn. Okay, hold on, let me try that again. The Fortune Cookie Told Me To by Robot Ian Corn Attack. It's all one word. This is on fanfiction.net. And so yeah, here we go. So hashtag buttplugme Mari. So Nikki leaned forward in his chair after the filming had ended for the last episode. After the filming had ended for the last episode of Game Bang. I swear to God, if that's the one thing that comes out of this. Mari ground, rising to her feet. If that's the one thing that comes out of this, I'll be impressed, especially with all the Anthony we had going on. Laser couldn't resist teasing them. Ever since they discovered fanfics were a thing, and especially after they discovered how hardcore some of those fans could get with their words, it became the new inside joke. Careful what you do, you'll be the next ship, or that's definitely going down in fanfic history. Between the, I wonder if someone wrote about that yet. Quick, go look it up, to the, hey, wouldn't it be funny if someone actually wrote this? And giving them the hint in this week's episode. It was especially funny considering how much it seemed to get under Anthony's skin, or at least he seemed to make a bigger deal out of it than the rest of them. Maybe he wanted to protect his manhood or something stupid like that. Lasercorn wasn't really one to say anything, but if he did, it probably would have been giving Anthony a word of advice that freaking out the way he did probably had the opposite effect of proving he was straight. Even as he thought about it now, Anthony was pitching a fit. Excuse me, what? He turned to Lasercorn's lap and leaned over, pretending to hurl on him. I don't know, Ian peeled off his orange wig and used it to mop the sweat from his brow. I think I did some pretty sweet Nickelback impressions. That might just be the highlight. They were pretty sweet. The lovely way you went demon back. The only thing missing was the 360 head spin, Lasercorn fondly agreed. No. If anything, it's going to be the Joe and Shy's sweet moves. Joe struck an endearing dumb pose, hips strutting and thrusting at the air. Okay. So Winky watched their friend's open display of idiocy before deciding he had enough for one day. Well, on that disturbing note, I'm gonna head out. A chorus of buys and sees rose up before Mari turned to Joven and thrust her finger at his face. And by the way, I still call shenanigans. You and Ian twerked me out of my rightful spot. But isn't twerking on some of the things you're supposed to do to that song? Have you learned anything from Miley? Joven regarded her incredulously. Mari gave him her best deadpan. No, and I'd like to hope you haven't either. I don't know, Mari. Hashtag buttplug me. It sounds pretty Miley to me. I don't even know why you would say something like that. And then he looked away as though he silently judged her. Oh, as though he was silently judging her. I'm sorry. You said it. You made it happen. Don't drag me down into your hole. You heard her, Anthony. She doesn't want none of your glory hole. Ian chimed in because Mari made it too easy. She placed her palms on her forehead, but in spite of the superficial exasperation, she was in good humor. I'm done. I'm just done. I'll see you guys next week. Mari gathered her things, turning to Joven. You're helping out with the Super Mari Fun Time this week, right? I'm game. Get it? Game. Joven laughed at his own joke, turning to see if anyone else joined him. No one did. It still didn't seem to stop him from enjoying his own humor, though. Text you guys later. He and Mari headed out together, chatting the whole way, and before their voices faded entirely into the distance, a very audible, "Oh God, Joven, really?" was heard, and they could only guess what he had said. Lasercorn knew that behind all the jokes and awkward flirting, Joven really did have a thing for Mari. It came up one bored night when the power had gone out, and the only way they could entertain themselves was dusting off the old Magic the Gathering cards and playing by candlelight while chatting about video games and life. Heck, who was he kidding? Video games pretty much were their lives. But in their gaming-filled lives came their gaming-filled jobs, and Joven apparently needed to tell someone, had confronted in Lasercorn about Mari, perhaps hoping for advice or some guidance. Instead, he got laughed at, and then oh, you were serious? Lasercorn had to admit he felt a little guilty, but he also had to admit Mari might have been into Joven too. After all, she treated him the same way a girl at the playground would treat her crush, and they were all pretty much at the same level as school children, so it had to count for something, right? Maybe Joven would get lucky. Lasercorn? Nah, probably not so much. He watches Ian and Anthony banter with the ease of two people who knew everything about one another. It wasn't that he was jealous, exactly. It would be stupid to be jealous over something that was out of his control. Ian and Anthony had been best friends since high school. It's not true. They've been best friends since 6th grade. And joined forces to create the YouTube empire known as Smosh. It would be impossible to think he even had a chance of coming close to that bond. Did he think Ian and Anthony were more than friends? No, they both had girlfriends, for one thing. Even though that alone wasn't enough to dispel the possibility. But there was something about them as Lasercorn had watched them dance their punishment. Something about them that held back. Something about them that had appeared really uncomfortable to be dancing a romantic duet together. Something especially about Ian that hadn't seemed to exist when he and Lasercorn had lost and danced their infamous punishment together. Ian had appeared reluctant to get I cannot talk today. I'm sorry, guys. Ian had appeared reluctant to get too close to Anthony. The punishment seemed more like a punishment amped up because they both had known a large amount of their views came from fan service, but it lacked the humor. It hadn't even gotten one of Joan's walrus laughs. With him and Ian, it had been different, but Lasercorn brushed the thought away. He was stupid to entertain the idea of it. He didn't even know why he was. Did he have a thing for Ian the way Joan did for Mari? He wasn't sure. Lasercorn definitely looked up to Ian and respected him. Who wouldn't? The guy was a comedic genius, never failing to cause a room full of people to laugh themselves to tears. He was the type of guy anyone would want to be around because of his quick humor and sharp wit. Lasercorn liked to think that out of himself. Joe and Chai and Suzuki, he was the Ian of their little group, but he still felt sometimes he tried too hard to be funny. It wasn't nearly as organic. But the Ian was just a natural part of his personality, part of the allure. Anthony's cell phone rang, pulling Lasercorn from his ridiculous thoughts. After giving it a quick check, Anthony answered it with a, "Hey babe, not much, just finishing things up here. I'll be home in like 3, maybe 4 hours. Want me to pick up something when I get back to LA? Okay, see you soon. Love you, bye." After finishing the brief call, he tucked his phone in his back pocket, turning to the both of them. "Well, I gotta catch my flight, so Ian, see you Monday. Lasercorn, until next week." Ian and Lasercorn exchanged glances that held them almost like a silent game of rock, paper, scissors. Ian Lesson had to be the one to speak up. Anthony? Yeah, you gonna wear that shirt home?" "Not that there's anything wrong with it. I think it looks fabulous on you." Lasercorn chimed in to tease. Anthony looked down, realizing he was still wearing the girly punishment shirt. Instead of being embarrassed, he struck a pose. "What, you guys didn't think I could start the next new fashion trend?" He flipped his bangs with an exaggerated femininity. I cannot ever pronounce that word. "The world needs more things to laugh at, so why not?" Ian shrugged. Regardless, Anthony was peeling off the skin-tight tank top and finding his original shirt, shrugging it over his shoulders before grabbing his hoodie. "My moves weren't big enough to fill it out anyway. I'm pretty self-conscious about that." And moves are overrated. "Down with moves." Lasercorn gave a thumbs down to emphasize his point. But Ian looked hurt, reaching down toward his chest and squeezing it together to create fake cleavage. "I thought I'd grow mine out. I thought it was the Ian thing. How come no one told me this until now?" "Because you are the only exception," Laser crooned off key. Ian batted his eyelashes, bringing his hand daintily to his heart and offering his best girlish giggle. "Oh, stop, you flatter me too much." And then he coughed a few times. "I'm getting caught. Don't be hating." Ian's arm slid around Lasercorn's shoulders. Lasercorn folded his arms. Sounds to me an awful lot like someone's jealous, and I totally get it. I'd be jealous too if I wasn't the corn in Ian corn. That's gloating about being the corn in a piece of poop. Anthony made a face. That's like gloating about being the corn in a piece of poop. Anthony made a face. Ian pressed his lips thoughtfully. "I don't know. I'd be pretty jealous of that still. Corn is like the Christmas decoration for poo. Dresses it up." "Yeah, when you put it like that, you're right. I'm jealous. I only hope when I go around I can hide my envy from Kal-El. Anthony smiled with a shake of his head before he raised his hand to give them each a guy hug goodbye. "Anyway, guys, it's been good. See you around." "Bye, man." Lasercorn patted his back. "Take care." Ian sent him off. And just like that, he and Ian were alone. Lasercorn hadn't anticipated this turn of events, half expecting Ian and Anthony to leave together. But hey, all the better. Maybe they could hang out for a bit. "Hey, you want to grab some food or something?" "I'll never say no to food. Where do you want to go?" Actually, I thought we could stay right here. There's gotta be a whole array of leftovers in the fridge, yeah? He wrinkled his nose. Just how I always wanted to die, playing Smosh Games refrigerator roulette. Alright, fine. I'm feeling adventurous. Let's do this. They looked at each other and in sync, struck douchebag poses and said, YOLO! Lasercorn led the way to the break room, pulling open the fridge, poking his head inside, and mimicked a commercial of their childhood. Alright, so we got some iced tea, soda, purple stuff, Sunny D. Purple stuff. Hands down. Pouring me a glass of that unidentifiable purple goodness. Lasercorn laughed. Closest thing we got is grape soda. Still want it? Hit me. Ian grabbed a plastic cup, slamming it down on the counter. He popped the top of the can and poured it into the cup. Wait, no, we're doing this all wrong. Go sit down and let me romance you. There was a distinct lack of Ian corn in this game bank, so god dang it, we're going to make up for it. Ian let out a long, exasperated sigh. Fine. He charged over to the door, pausing to sip his drink. I'll be waiting in the meeting room for your romantic surprise. Don't keep me waiting long, sweetie. Ian joked with a wink and a blown kiss before prancing off. He had only just disappeared from view when Lasercorn heard, oh crap, it splashed all over my shirt. That's why you don't prance with their soda. Didn't your mother ever teach you anything? Lasercorn called out before shaking his head with a laugh. The big question was, what was even edible in the fridge? There was some leftover pizza. It couldn't have been too old, or probably held up better than the leftover Mexican in the back. Just to be sure, Lasercorn gave them both a sniff test and confirmed the pizza would definitely be the safer option. He searched out the containers, finding some Chinese he knew for a fact wasn't bad yet, because he had ordered it the last time he was there. And apart from that, there were a couple of salads Anthony or Mari had left behind. But yuck, salad. Who wanted to eat anything that was actually healthy? Not me. So on to the main course of cold pepperoni pizza. He heated up some fried rice and lo mein in the microwave for side dishes and opted for potato chips as the vegetable. After all, potatoes grew in the ground, right? So they totally counted and became this well-balanced meal. He tried to arrange all of these things in an aesthetically pleasing way and gave up on the culinary challenge after a few attempts, aiming instead to make sure everything fit on the plates without falling off. Lasercorn paused, rummaging around the cupboards before he found what he was looking for, a small pack of birthday cake candles. He looked around for something to stick them into and settled on a block of styrofoam straight from the garbage that came from the packaging of one of the new keyboards they ordered last week. Puncturing it with each tiny candle, don't try this at home, kids. He appeared satisfied with juggling the 2 plates of makeshift candelabra in his hands to carry into the meeting room, the only room with enough table space that wasn't filled with electronics. Ian looked up and branched off into a laugh. What the heck is that? What is that? Shut up and be romanced, Lasercorn smirked, popping the unlit candles between them. You mean shut up and enjoy the 3rd-degree burns? Shut up and enjoy the arson? Shut up and enjoy watching our HQ burn to the ground? You can't stop the flames of love. Lasercorn drew out a lighter and touched the flame to each small candle. But I'll go get the fire extinguisher in case we have to. Oh man, I'm so romanced right now. Ian watched as his plate was set down. Everything is going to be so PB and jelly. Everyone is going to be so PB and jelly when I tell him about this. Who wouldn't be? Lasercorn left the room briefly, getting 2 things. A can of Coke and the promised fire extinguisher, because who knew how flammable styrofoam really was? Afterward, he settled down across from Ian, and knew despite their teasing and mock flirting, this meant nothing. It never would. But that didn't mean he couldn't indulge himself and enjoy the moment, right? It was what Joven did. It was what probably a good chunk of humanity did. How many people were lucky enough to have a crush that was reciprocated? How many people kept those feelings to themselves? And god dang it, how many times did he have to tell himself this wasn't a crush? It was just a strong cocktail of admiration and enjoying the Ian corn joke. A strong enough cocktail to get him drunk on the emotions and blur his feelings into a mess of confusion. The Chinese and pizza came together in one awesome conglomeration of awesome. Do you think any other fast food chain would survive? Ian dipped his pizza into the fried rice, scooping some up and taking his first bite. He chewed it thoughtfully for a second before shaking his head in distaste and answering his own question. Yeah, they would. He washed it down with his soda. Isn't that a commercial? Life splitter with the ant? Or something? Lasercorn folded his pizza slice in half and bit off a mouthful. I think you just proved it wrong, though. It was an experiment done in the name of science. Happens all the time. Why else would they have fries on burgers now? Apart from us being all fat and lazy. Pretty sure you hit the nail on the head there. That's why a burrito's no good unless it passes the forearm test. It can only get better. Pretty soon they'll come in 2 sizes. Forearm and then full sleeve. Wait, should I patent that idea before someone cashes in on it? Lasercorn regarded Ian in amusement. Definitely. Maybe you can even supersize it to horse bleat size. Holy crap, did that wax just melt into a whole strip through the styrofoam? Ian looked at their centerpiece and then nonchalantly took another bite of food. Yep, we're gonna die. He seemed unfazed. Making a wish. Lasercorn closed his eyes tightly and then huffed and puffed and blew all out the flames all at once, all except the church candles that relit. God dang it, the force is too strong. Wait, I'll try. Ian drew back, closed his eyes for a moment, and then reached over to grab someone's forgotten water bottle, upending the contents onto the candles. With a sharp hiss, the flames extinguished, and the parents lived to see another day. Phew! Lasercorn breathed a mock sigh of relief. I bet we were goners. Also, if it weren't for my quick thinking. So what'd you wish for? Ian gaped. I can't tell you! It won't come true! That's only true for anyone else except me. I'm Lasercorn, part unicorn, part bionic death machine, and everyone knows unicorns poop wishes and rainbows, so you're safe. Well, I guess when you put it like that, Ian grabbed one of his chips, munching on it thoughtfully. I wish we wouldn't die tonight, and I assume we've thwarted the worst, unless that means it's going to come back to get us all Final Destination style. So thanks, Lasercorn. Your unicorn poop served us well. Now use the bionic death machine part to ward of any impending death attempts. I'll try. Lasercorn was all fake modesty. It didn't take them all that long to finish dinner, and it continued the same way it started. Meaningless conversation tossed back and forth, all laughs and light-hearted jokes. Like all good things, though, it had to come to an end. Lasercorn wanted to suggest that they hang out longer, play a few rounds of GTA, or go do something, anything. But Ian was already dismissing himself before he got the chance. I think I better get going. Ian rose to his feet with a stretch, letting out a belch before he collected his garbage and tossed it in the trash. Thanks for the romantic dinner, Lasercorn. Best date I've had in a while. Lasercorn sat there watching him. Was he really leaving already? He wanted to say something to keep him there longer, but the only thing that came out of his mouth was, well, nothing beats those Ian-corn moments. Not even your punishment duet with Anthony tonight. Next time I'm gonna have to lose on purpose. You'll have to keep out the raptor claws then. I think as the games upgrade, the power of the raptor claws grow and double your scores. Dang it! We all have the powers working against us. Ian laughed and it was a good sound. A sound that accompanied his smile that lit up his face. Lasercorn felt his disappointment grow. Did Ian really have to leave already? Well, see you, man. He waved and then headed out the door. Lasercorn sat there alone for a moment, staring at his half-eaten pile of fried rice, its existence reflecting his thoughts on the situation, dry and unfinished. He pushed the plate aside, frowning to himself. His brown eyes flickered over the table, noticing the stash of unopened fortune cookies something he enjoyed and left there a couple nights ago. Lasercorn reached out, plucking one up at random before pulling it out of the plastic and breaking it in two. He popped one half in his mouth, reading the fortune. Express yourself. Don't hold back. He stared at the message for a moment before it seemed to motivate something deep inside of him. If all went well, Lasercorn would have to thank Buddha, or at least the local delivery guy later. For now, he sprang into action and without thought, rushing out the door and hoping to catch Ian before it was too late. Wait, Ian! Lasercorn rushed back into the main room in time to see Ian tossing on his sweat jacket and zipping it up. He looked up at the urgent call, raising his brows in question. Now that Lasercorn had Ian's attention, he realized the fortune cookie hadn't exactly guided him on how to express himself, or what he should even say. It was just one of those moments where it was now or never. He walked forward, closing the distance between them. Maybe words weren't necessary at all. Lasercorn drew in one last breath for courage before he hooked his hand around Ian's jacket, drawing him in. Ian stumbled against him, and Lasercorn took advantage by lifting his head to catch his lips in a clumsy kiss. He felt Ian tense beneath him and realized then and there that his impulsiveness might have ruined everything, but he still hung on, still clung to the hope that this was the right thing to do. There was a moment, though brief, when Ian returned the kiss. A light but slightly confused pressing back against Lasercorn's mouth. It could have been an accident or maybe an instinctive response, but the hope that died at Ian's initial reactions became removed by those couple of seconds. Not wanting to linger there too long, because it was probably already uncomfortable enough, Lasercorn pulled away, rubbing the back of his neck with an awkward laugh. The fortune cookie told me to. Ian said nothing stunned. It only prompted Lizardcoin to continue nervously. And an unicorn date wouldn't be complete without the kiss at the end, right? He looked down at his sneakers, mumbling. It's what the fortune cookie said. Right, Ian said slowly and uncertainly. He barely even made eye contact as he backed to the door. Well, see ya. He was gone before Lasercoin could respond, so he leaned against the doorway, muttering to himself. Yeah, see ya. His eyes drifted toward the tiny slip of a message in his hand. Stupid fortune cookie. His head lolled back against the wall and banged it lightly a few times. Stupid Lasercorn. Stupid Lasercorn. He didn't even know what he had been hoping for Ian to reciprocate his sudden, unexpected, and unspoken declaration of feelings, for Ian just to be cool with things and continue to pick out right there, to know how he hoped Ian would have reacted. Lasercorn needed to understand how he even felt, and that seemed to be far beyond his comprehension. In spite of the outcome, he didn't regret kissing Ian, but it did raise a whole new level of questions. What will come of things between them now? Would Ian Corn be the new, uncomfortable topic only acknowledged for the fans' sake, just like E. Anthony? Would Ian be disgusted by him and try to avoid him except for when they were forced to interact by power of the game? Or would he become the topic Ian made fun of with Anthony behind his back because it was so pathetic the way Lasercorn poked fun at Jovin's crush on Mari with so hinky? But dang it, he knew he didn't imagine Ian kissing him back, no matter how brief. So what did that mean? He turned back toward the room, looking around to make sure everything was in place before he collected his jacket and tossed it on. One thing was certain, just like Jovin and Mari, only time would tell. At least he knew Ian wouldn't be able to avoid him forever. Not when they had a web show to film. Lasercorn offered a wan smile to himself. The only thing you regretted in life were the things you didn't do. A fortune cookie had told him that once too. So with that in mind, Lasercorn shut off the lights behind him and sealed the memories away in the room where they would stay locked until the next time he or Ian were ready to face them. Oh wait, what? What is going on? What happened? Why am I not in the frame? What the heck? Computer. There we go. I have to hold this at a really weird angle for this to work. What the heck? I think my webcam kind of sucks. That's what I think. That was only chapter 1, guys. We still have 7 chapters left. So, yeah, I'm going to be uploading those for the next 7 weeks. This is the story that we're reading. Actually, I had something else planned, but I didn't remember how long this was. So, those get to wait. So that was chapter 1 of The Fortune Cookie Told Me To by Robot Unicorn Attack. And I am so sorry for my terrible enunciation of words, because I am not good at reading, apparently, like when there's a camera in front of me. But when I'm by myself, I read fine, like perfectly fine. I don't know what happened. Like when I'm just reading in my head. But yeah, I shout, holy crap, this is gonna be a long video. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!